Sloppy Joes are a classic for a reason. They're fast, flexible, and seriously delicious. And these come together with pantry staples. Let me show you how I make mine. Hi friend, come on in. I grew up with Sloppy Joes and they are a nostalgic food for me. Whether you grew up with it or not, this is a fun, easy meal that tastes great. I am mincing up an onion and a few cloves of garlic. I will only be using half the onion for this 1 pound batch of Sloppy Joes. 1 pound will make about 6 buns worth of meat, depending on the size of your buns. This can obviously be scaled up to make more. I am working with a 10% fat on my ground beef because that was all I had. This was a 3-pound chub. For the remainder of the chub, my options are to cook the entire chub and freeze the extra crumbles for incorporating into another dish, shape into hamburger patties for later grilling, or meal prep several meals and freeze ready-made meals for later enjoyment. I seasoned my ground beef with a little salt and pepper. I like to let the ground beef sit long enough to pick up a bit of browning on the bottom before flipping over to the other side. The browning gives a really nice beefy flavor and helps enrich the Sloppy Joes. Once I have let the second side brown as well, I like to go through and chop up the larger chunks into smaller crumbles. The size of the crumbles will be personal preference. I like to have some medium-sized crumbles mixed in with smaller crumbles to pack nicely on the bun. Once my meat was about 80 to 90% cooked, I pushed the meat to the edges and added in the onions to begin softening them up. If you are using a low-fat meat, you might need to add in a little oil at this point. If you are using a high-fat meat, you might need to remove excess grease from the pan. I like to keep a jar near the stove so I can spoon out extra grease for later disposal. Definitely do not pour hot fat or grease down your drain or it will congeal and cause a blockage. And while the tinfoil in the drain trick works, why tie up your drain waiting for fat to cool and solidify? Just use an old jar. Once the onions become translucent and soft, I want to add in my garlic and give that about a minute in the heat. Burnt garlic doesn't taste good, so keep an eye on this. Now let's build the flavor with a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, or in my case, white sugar with a touch of molasses, and give that a stir. I want to start the tomato paste caramelizing to the pan for extra flavor. As the tomato paste is browning up, I want to add in the remaining ingredients. 1 tablespoon of vinegar, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of mustard, and finally about a 1/2 cup of water. I want to give everything a good stir to make sure I get all of the caramelized tomato paste up off the bottom of the pan. I added in a pinch of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper as a starting point that I will adjust later. Once I have everything fully incorporated, I want to simmer this until it's mostly dry. I want to have a little sauce, but for the most part I want to have it thickened down. Add more water if you feel it has gotten too dry. Options for this Sloppy Joe recipe: adding in bell pepper with the onions is a great way to bring in more vegetables. If you don't have fresh onion or garlic, add in about 1/2 teaspoon of powder to replace the flavor. Skipping the Worcestershire sauce is fine. I don't always have some, and some people don't like it. Add in more tomato paste to replace the ketchup, and if you don't have yellow prepared mustard, use mustard powder. You might need to adjust the salt, sugar, and vinegar levels to account for any substitutions. This has simmered down nicely and I want to give it a taste and adjust the flavor. Personally, I felt this tasted fine, but definitely adjust salt, pepper, sugar, and vinegar to your personal preferences. I love eating my Sloppy Joes with a slice of cheese. You could also serve it with pickles or slaw. Honestly, this came out so good. It reminded me I don't make this often enough. As a teen, I used to make this with a packet of seasoning. I now make it fresh with pantry staples and it is so much better. If you like easy, pantry-friendly recipes like this, be sure to subscribe. Check out my roasted marinara, also made with pantry staples. I've got it linked in the cards and at the end. Thanks for hanging out with me.